once again, and I'm gonna do as promised. This is the review for one of my favorite Marvel cinematic sequels that have come out recently. Um, well, this movie, it needs no introduction. It came out last April, and it really left an impression on me. I can't wait to see more in Civil War, and that is the 2014 hit Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Yeah, this is an amazing sequel that I love that, and I will say this, even though I love this film and I think it's one of the best Marvel sequels, I still prefer Avengers only because we have more characters that I care about and it felt more, enthralling to see more happen. But this is a great film. I got to see it in the theater back in 2014 in the spring. It was a rainy night, so it was kind of a good reason I stood in the theater to see this because I didn't want to be stuck in a rainy area. But anyway, the film, this film has one of the fastest paces of any of the other Marvel films. It's a spy thriller, which really does work. It feels like one of the Bourne films, but done much, much better, I think, because it doesn't have as much shaky cam. There is some editing issues that I have with the film, but I don't blame the Russos because, it was probably they wanted to reduce the violence because some people said this movie was too violent, which I don't understand. It's a PG-13 film. You should know what kind of film you're taking your kids to see. This is not a kids movie. This is more for teens and adults because the source material is more for adults as well. So anyway, the film starts off, Cap is kicking ass in the first 10 minutes. You don't have to wait an hour for him to become Cap this time. He's on a boat and he fights all these French guys and rescues some hostages and then Black Widow's there to help him. She's awesome. I love Scarlett Johansson, even with long hair in this movie. Yeah, it's a wig, but I can deal with it. It doesn't make her look stupid. The fight scenes are amazing. The Russo brothers know how to freaking direct. Joe and Anthony Russo, I thank them for this movie. I mean, they did a comedy back in 2006 called You, Me, and Dupree. And if you told me that those two guys were going to do a Captain America movie and do it better than the first one, I would have laughed right in your face. But they proved me wrong. And I love this movie. Just the action sequences have a lot of energy. Cap is kicking ass left and right. He's throwing his shield like a frisbee and it's hitting people out of nowhere. And a Black Widow is badass. Falcon, they shoot hard him in the film, but I thought Anthony Mackie was fun to watch. It was cool. The visual effects on Falcon's wings looked awesome. He got to fight at the end with Crossbones, yeah, I meant, Frank Grillo's character. He's going to become Crossbones in Civil War. Um, Sebastian Stan, he's the Winter Soldier. He looks freaking awesome. He's badass. He's really, really, cold. He barely talks in the movie, which is great. I mean, there's a twist in the movie that, people didn't see coming, and I'm glad that they didn't because, they gasped in the theater, and I knew it because I knew who the Winter Soldier was from the beginning. Uh, the film looks good. The visual effects are done well. There's a lot of practical stuff even for a summer blockbuster in a way, even though this was in April, so it was really a spring blockbuster. But, this cover's kind of weird. I like the cover from the other Blu-ray better, with Cap and the rest of the crew. But it's a great movie. It's definitely one of the best Marvel sequels. I will put it up there with Spider-Man 2. And I know Civil War is going to be awesome. People are like, oh, they're going to mess it up because they're going to kill everybody. No, they're not. Marvel has no plans of killing off Captain America because if they did that, people would not see Avengers 3. And I would know that from experience. But, it works in this movie. You got a cool villain. You got Robert Redford there. I thought he did a great job. He's old, but he can still act. You have a lot of callbacks to the first film, flashbacks, but they don't take 10 minutes long. Um, there's a lot of heart to this film too. A lot of the film has moments that are touching and they don't make you sick. And even at the end when Winter Soldier is beating the hell out of Cap and punching him in the face, and he just takes his mask off, he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And the way when he looks at Cap in the face and he's like, like looking at him, he's like shocked. It's amazing because I'm like, wow, that really says more than words can ever say. Just a simple look makes all the difference. It was good to the scene with Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, you know, where they crush his car. It's pretty awesome and intense. You really think that he's going to get it. I mean, he gets messed up in the film a lot. It was good to see Agent 13 here, played by Emily Van Camp. I liked her a lot better than Peggy in the first film because I did not care for Haley Atwell. She's in this film in flashback, and then they show her old, even though I think they should have gotten an old actress to play her character. But you know, the makeup is done well, the fight scenes are done well, the action is fluid. There has some jokes in it, but it manages to, you know, mix a dark tone with some humor that lightens the mood, because you don't want to have a movie that's too serious and then it becomes a drama, and I didn't want that. But the Russos did it right, and I don't know what else to say about the film. It's a great sequel. I won't say it's better than Avengers because that was the best experience I ever had in the theater. Cap is an Avenger in this movie on his own, but he really does it well. And the helicarrier scenes at the end was really cool. It's a nice callback to the first Avengers movie. I don't know how anybody can hate this film, saying that, oh, it's kind of boring or whatever. They said, you know, if you enjoyed the first Cap film, you're gonna love this one because this one is much better. And the fact that they had a villain that's actually intimidating and gave Cap a run for his money was worth it. And you know, the film's just great. I mean, I don't know why there's sequels that have come out that are subpar, and then you got a sequel like this that surpasses a lot of sequels. And it was one of my favorite movies of last year, without a doubt. I mean, just wow, what an epic sequel to one of the Marvel characters that really, you know, you needed a reboot after 1999. I mean, after 1990. So that's Captain Winter Soldier. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My next review is going to be on Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to talk more about that one. I don't own it, but I will someday. And then after that, we got Age of Ultron. I'm going to defend this film, not just because I'm a Marvel fan. You could call me a blind Marvel fanboy. I think Marvel did a great job with that sequel. Just like this, and just like that. It proves that you could make an entertaining summer blockbuster without making it a joke, like Michael Bay does with his Transformers films. You know, I really was into Marvel films even when I was a kid. And, you know, the fact that Age of Ultron was one of the big movies this year that didn't let me down. It did feel rushed in some areas, but I'll explain why I'm defending those rush, you know, moments, because in a few months we're going to have the Blu-ray with an extended cut, and I'm so happy that's going to happen. And I guarantee you it's not going to be an extended cut that's just a minute long. Marvel's wouldn't do that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that was cut out of that movie, but I'll talk about that movie next time. But Winter Soldier is solid. I love this movie. I think it's awesome. I give it like an 8 out of 10 because it deserves the box office it got. It deserves the praise it got. It deserves a lot of good notices on YouTube. It deserves to be watched over and over again. It's a film that I can see, and I never get bored with it, even when I've watched it as many times as I did on Blu-ray. One thing I don't like is that Marvel decided not to put the DVD version on this. They should have done that instead of the digital copy, because, I mean, not the digital copy, this Blu-ray 3D version is useless. A Blu-ray, you know, I don't need a Blu-ray 3D, because I'm never going to buy a 3D television or a 3D Blu-ray player, so it's completely useless. And, you know, the DVD could have been here. Come on. I mean, making people buy the DVD separately is just wrong. But anyway, when I get Age of Ultron on Blu-ray, I'm going to get the Steelbook because I think it deserves it. But Cap Winter Soldier is awesome, and I don't know what else to say. Just go watch it and enjoy it for yourself. Anyway, that's my review of Cap the Winter Soldier. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for subscribing and liking and leaving comments. I know some comments were, you know, from some stupid trolls out there that want to make me feel bad. No, I'm here to stay, people. Even if people say that I'm a blind Marvel fanboy, there's a lot of DC movies I like too. I don't hate DC just because they're not. To me, I love Marvel more. You know, it's all preference. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. It'll be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy later.